Hi, this is Dr. Holly Hamilton, the Director of Meteorology at the Turks and Caicos Islands Airports Authority, Turks and Caicos Islands National Weather Service, bringing you an update on Hurricane Erin at 11:45 a.m. this morning, Monday morning, August 18th, 2025. So at 11 a.m. this morning, the center of Hurricane Erin was located about 110 miles north-northeast of Grand Turk. Erin is moving towards the west-northwest near 10 miles per hour. Now, the track forecast still has a turn to the northwest expected later today, followed by a turn to the north and on Tuesday. The core of Erin is expected to pass to the east of the Turks and Caicos Islands today and move between Bermuda and the east coast of the U.S. by the middle of the week. Hurricane Erin is now a Category 4 hurricane with maximum sustained winds near 140 miles per hour with higher gusts. Some additional strengthening is expected today. If we look at the satellite imagery, we see quite an impressive cloud pattern with the eye surrounded by some very cold cloud tops. So right at this moment, Turks and Caicos is underneath some of those convective rain bands and hence experiencing tropical storm conditions, very squally weather, tropical storm force winds. The islands of Providenciales, North Caicos and Middle Caicos, windy conditions with gusts up to tropical storm force. And we anticipate that happening throughout today. If we zoom in and look at a closer up of the satellite imagery, we notice that the center of the storm hasn't really moved much. We've seen that the storm has slowed down significantly as it starts to make that turn to the north. But over the past couple hours here, the storm, especially if you're looking at the center of the storm, it has not moved very much. We see a little bit of a wobble to the north. So that brings some concerns in terms of the slow movement of the storm. So expect the weather conditions that are being experienced now in Turks and Caicos to really to continue throughout today and possibly into tomorrow morning. Nevertheless, the steering pattern and the track guidance remains about the same as it has been over the past day. We're still expecting Erin to make that northward turn during the next few days into this weakness in the subtropical ridge in the Atlantic. And then Erin will move between Bermuda and the U.S. coast in about 3 days. So bringing it back to home, again, looking at Erin's impressive deep convection, the National Hurricane Center indicate that they're still thinking that it can strengthen some more later today, but then that shall taper off going into tomorrow. And then again, with Erin's expanding wind field, that has brought Turks and Caicos in the region of where it could experience tropical storm force winds. The tropical storm force winds extend outward up to 230 miles. And as I would have said earlier, Grand Turk is about 110 miles away from the center of Erin. So in terms of impacts for the Turks and Caicos, looking at the tropical weather advisory number 4 that was issued earlier this morning, tropical storm conditions are expected within the Turks and Caicos Islands today, and that will continue through tonight. Bands of heavy rainfall are expected today through Tuesday over the Turks and Caicos Islands. Tropical storm conditions are expected in the easternmost islands. Windy conditions with tropical storm force wind gusts expected in the islands of Providenciales, North and Middle Caicos. We're expecting 2 to 4 inches of rainfall with isolated amounts up to 6 inches possible today through Tuesday. Heavy rains can produce localized flooding of roads, properties, and communities. A flood warning would have been issued earlier today. We urge the public to heed to those warnings and to stay off the road as much as possible. only essential movements. In terms of the marine impacts, surf Erin is expected to produce high seas, dangerous surf, and rip currents along the northern and eastern coastlines, or what we call the Atlantic exposures. So, really, beachgoers, you should be refraining from venturing to the beach, and mariners should plan to remain in port until the middle or even to the end of the week. And minor coastal flooding is possible in areas of onshore winds in the Turks and Caicos Islands, where the winds of Erin would be pushing that water towards the coastline. And that storm surge can be accompanied by large waves. So, as always, we encourage you to follow the official sources of information, especially in regard to Hurricane Erin. And that will be coming from the Department of Disaster Management and Emergencies and also from the Turks and Caicos Islands National Weather Service. Look out for notifications and updates coming through the DDME Alert app. And just take heed to all those advisories and information coming from the officials. And finally, just keep safe, Turks and Caicos. Don't take this storm lightly, even though we are under a tropical storm warning, and these are tropical storm conditions. These are still potentially dangerous conditions, dangerous weather conditions. And the storm itself is a very large and powerful hurricane. So we just wish that it clears out of the area as soon as possible. But until that time, keep safe.